Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, let's talk about what's going on with Bitcoin and why a big move is coming. There's something big tomorrow, or maybe it's not big. We will see. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about everything else that's going on in the world of crypto today. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. Bitcoin is still slowly trending upwards. 60,700. Slowly moving upwards. A little bit at a time. Tomorrow, we could definitely see that big move. Here's why. I've been hyping this up for a long time. Tomorrow's finally the day. Unfortunately, it's not going to come at the beginning. He's going to talk basically what I'm about to be done streaming. Okay. So Fed Chair Powell tomorrow is going to give a speech at Jackson Hole. Now, this is not like an FOMC meeting, right? It's not like he could come out and say, well, I'm going to cut rates right now. No, he can't say that, right? He can't say that. He could hint, or he could just, give a honest assessment of where he sees the economy, right? But obviously a lot of numbers coming out. The biggest one is the jobs revision, how they miscalculate 818,000 jobs. Makes no sense. Seems like it's just setting up the stage to let Powell do his thing, right? To cut the Fed fund rate first time since 2021 or something like that. Right? And even the Fed minutes said likely rate cut in September, but it's not likely anymore. It is a certainty. Okay. So again, if you're wondering about the percentages, 73% for 25 basis point, 26% for 50 basis point. Maybe if he says some good things tomorrow, we will see that 50 basis point percentage goes upwards. It'll be awesome if we're like at 50-50, right? By the time September rolls around. But, tomorrow, that's the big thing, right? That's the big thing, so we'll see. It could be an absolutely nothing burger. Maybe he says nothing at all, right? And then nothing changes. But maybe there's a slight chance. Maybe he's going to be saying something good. All right, so that's tomorrow. Okay, so possibility. This article says 3 reasons why Bitcoin hit 68,000 in September. Well, we're not that far off. I mean, come on. We were at 70,000 just a month ago. We could certainly hit this mark even tomorrow. If something good is said tomorrow, it could come at any time. But why? Why can Bitcoin go higher? Well, the biggest thing is if you look at this is exchange reserves for Bitcoin. And it has been tanking this entire year. And it just keeps on going lower, lower, lower. That's significant. That's a huge amount out of circulation taken off the exchanges. Right? When it comes to price, just supply and demand. And demand keeps going up and supply keeps going down. One of the biggest reasons why Bitcoin will be making big moves in the future because there's not enough of it. Right? And clearly, people that understand this will continue to accumulate. I mean, just look at this, okay? Even yesterday, right now there's only 450 million. I mean, 450 being minted or created per day, okay? Not minted, mined. But yesterday, we had 670 being eaten up by the ETFs. That's just in the US, right? And that was a slow day. Look at Monday through Wednesday, it's more than double. So, and since January, it's double. So the ETFs in the US alone are eating up twice the amount that's being released per day now. Don't tell me that doesn't have effect. It does. Especially when Bitcoin is scarce. There's only so many that can be produced. And the ETFs alone are eating all of it up. And this is just the US. let's not forget like Hong Kong. Hong Kong, not as big as Wall Street, obviously, but in total, they already took in $306 million. A third of $1 billion. Right? All this is having effect. Canada's is multi-billion, close to 10 billion in total too. It's all adding up. This is why the supply keeps decreasing. And outside ETFs, you have MicroStrategy that continues to buy. Marathon continues to buy. They just raised 300 million. And then you got others that are adding and adding and adding and adding some more, right? So the biggest reason why Bitcoin will be going higher, will be breaking out of this slump and go on that parabolic rise, quite simply it's because there's just not enough supply. The demand is there, and all the big boys continue to buy and buy and buy and buy some more. It's that simple. Here's another example. Whales with over 10,000 Bitcoin going up like crazy. 10,000. You have to be a giant whale or an institution, okay? And look at it. It is skyrocketing. Since June, since we have fallen, in fact, the whale balances have been going up, right? That's significant. That's telling you something. Whales are loading up. All right. Just final two things here. In terms of Bitcoin's movement right now, I know it seems like it's stagnant. We're going sideways. You know what else went through this? Gold. Gold on the left side there. Multi-years. And finally, it broke out, right? It's at an all-time, close to all-time high of 2,500. And many think that Bitcoin is moving the same way. But of course, we don't have to wait years. We're just waiting months. So the time scale is a little different. But we are moving pretty similarly. Bitcoin is pharmaceutical gold, which is why it has all the goodness, none of the badness, and it outperforms gold by magnitudes. And the last thing I'll say about Bitcoin is this. This BBWP signal, the last time this signaled a turnaround was back in 2023, and that was when Bitcoin went on a 200% run. So basically, Bitcoin was down like around 30,000-ish, maybe even lower, right? That was the last time we saw that. And we're seeing the same thing happen right now. So again, we're getting closer and closer for that next leg up. That big move is coming. You just have to stay strong, stay focused, ignore the FUD. That's really what it comes down to, right? And we have a lot of catalysts between now and the end of the year. I think many of them will help drive Bitcoin even higher. All right. Outside of Bitcoin, what else is there? Well, some people have noted that, hey, you know, some of the alts are doing well. For example, Avalanche is doing well. Even Cardano's doing well, right? Probably because of the hard fork coming up. But what about some of these alts that are showing some strength? Franklin Templeton, the CEO, just recently came out and said, hey, look at how good the Bitcoin network is, right? But it's also expanding its fund to Avalanche too. Avalanche is being looked at by many banks out there, many institutions for RWA purposes and also for money transmitting purposes. A lot of things happening on Avalanche, so great things. But also Grayscale unveils a trust for Avalanche. Now, I'm not a fan of Grayscale anymore. Seems like all these trusts, they just take in and in and in, and eventually when they become ETFs, they just keep on dumping, right? So not a fan of Grayscale, but in the interim, it does have an effect. We do see whenever Grayscale introduces a trust, you see the price start rising, right? So obviously there's interest there. And Avalanche is known for its gaming. A lot of games on there. So good for them. What else is going on? For Solana, there's always something going on. The Phantom wallet, absolutely fantastic. The best wallet for Solana. Has more on-ramp options, including Apple Pay and bank transfers, making it easy for retail investors to get in and load up on Sol and everything else related to Sol. And even I don't ever hear anyone talk about PayPal's stablecoin, PYUSD, but I guess it's doing amazingly on Solana. Over 600 million in market cap, an increase of 157% in the last 30 days. What are people doing with PayPal stablecoin? Maybe they're buying memes. I don't know. But I don't know one person that ever asked me saying, hey, can I send you some PYUSD? Never, ever. All right, outside of Solana, also Ton is doing well. They're going to have a new community initiative. And their active address have hit an all-time high. 7x increase since July of 2021. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff. All right, that's pretty much it. Hey, Bitcoin's a little bit higher. We're like right below 61,000, 62,000. There's massive amount of shorts being placed right now to try to suppress Bitcoin. When we break out, we will move really, really quickly. We're going to have massive short squeezes. It's going to trigger big moves ahead. And maybe tomorrow we see that. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, let's see. Light day today. I think everyone's watching the DNC day 4. I don't even know why there needs to be a day 4. Why can't I be done in one day? I have no idea what they're saying, but I think a lot of people are watching. Devo says tomorrow's my DCA day. Great. Great. Frank for years says George is my crypto North Star. That's also great. Robert says I switched over a lot of my Matic to Ton to see it more on chain than Matic. That's true. AVAX up 12 to 13%. Yep. Why is Matic changing to Pol? Because they're moving to Matic 2, Pol 2. They want to just streamline it more and make it more efficient and faster and compete better with the other layer 2s for Ethereum. Will you stay on stream to cover Powell's speech? Actually, no. I have a hard stop tomorrow. So I have to do my stream possibly maybe a little bit early just so I can have a hard stop because I got to go somewhere. So no, I won't be. I don't anticipate tomorrow to be a huge day, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he will say something that's massive or scares Wall Street or makes Wall Street FOMO. I don't anticipate he's going to say anything big because you can't treat this like a FOMC meeting. It's not. The FOMC meeting is in September, so I guess we'll see. Maybe he gets asked some hard questions. I don't even know if he does Q&A at these kind of conferences. David's Digital. you must really want to know. You keep asking the same thing. What is the most reliable car that you would recommend as daily driver? It depends on your budget, man. What do you have to spend? $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000? Traditionally speaking, and plus, do you want a sedan or SUV? Do you care about it looking bad, or do you care if it drives well? I mean, you can just get like a Corolla or a Civic; they'll be fine as daily drivers. But if you want a SUV, maybe look into a CRV, you know, RAV4, something like that. It just depends. Chris, out of all the halving year cycles you've been in, which one is your favorite? And takeaways that you can share out of all the halving cycles. Oh, it has to be the last one. That's what made me rich. So it has to be the last one. And all the DCing, all the buying, everything that I had from years before finally paid off. So, and last year was just, I mean, it was just kind of like the first cycle where alts truly got really strong. And look at where alts are now. It's mostly because of last year. David Collins says 100K on a daily driver. Please get real. I mean, depends on your situation. I drive 2 cars that are over $100,000 in my daily driver. My wife drives a car that's over $100,000 as a daily driver. So we own $300,000 cars as daily drivers. So it depends on your financial situation. There are plenty of people that drive Teslas as daily drivers, plenty of people that drive Escalades as daily drivers. Hey Jordan, I remember you saying Coinbase closed your account back in the day. Why was that? I still don't know. I don't know. I still don't have a Coinbase account. They won't tell me why they closed it. And I'll never find out, I don't think. I've had Coinbase people, even marketing people, reach out to me. I'm like, I need to get my account unbanned first. And no one can tell me why. My Coinbase account got closed after I transferred 500K. Happened to me also. Yeah, mine was like early on. So I don't know. Maybe they were more strict back in the day. I don't know. I like my sensible Corolla. Corollas ain't bad. I'd rather have a Honda Civic over a Corolla. I think Civics look better and they're better equipped, newer. And the new Civics are like hatchbacks. So a little bit more practical. Corollas ain't bad either, but they're kind of dated at this point. Do you still believe in Wagman games? Well, I will say this. I believe in people. And someone like Scott, he's relentless. He's unwilling to give up. And that tells you something, right? A lot of projects I've given up on, they have pulled me back because of the people. Same thing with DeFi Kingdoms, but Wagman Games, same thing. Scott, you know, he works so hard to do everything he can, and they have a global launch next year, so we'll see. It could definitely work, especially if the timing's right. Let's see. Base or Tron? Well, I mean, I like I like base better, but there's no base token. So yeah, but base I like a lot better. C506 as a weekend toy. 2001 Xterra. Man, I remember the Xterra. As a daily beater, 314,000 miles. That's crazy. I didn't think Nissans can last that long. Wowzer. Give me something to say to my parents to convince them to continue to hold Bitcoin. They are money hungry and they always want to cash out. How? I mean, I don't know what to say to that. Some people don't trust Bitcoin. They see it as a means to make more money and get out as soon as possible because they don't believe in it. They think it's a Ponzi or just a get rich quick scheme. Yeah, everything I've been saying, if you get them to watch me, hopefully that helps. But there's nothing, not anything magical I tell you that can change their minds right away. Lotto asks, can I turn 60K into 1 million? I feel like after a recent dip, I should cut my expectations. I settle for 600K so I don't find myself holding it back. 60K to 600K is good. 60K to 1 million, you have to take a lot of risk, and it's probably going to make you cause or make mistakes, I should say. So I wouldn't bank on that. You're just trying too hard at this point. So 60K to 600K sounds good. Wait for the next cycle, turn 600K into 6 million. Frank, for years, I'm seeing Cybertruck wave hit my neighborhood. There are a lot of Cybertrucks everywhere. Rick asked, will you sell at near top or keep holding? I will always keep some. I will increase my profit taking as we go higher, but I will always keep some in the market for sure. Still have my 600 SL. Is it a boxy one? Like the box ones? I think they still look great. Elmer, new member. Kyle, are you going to run for president? No, I am not. Bolts on C5Z. New Camry XSE hybrid for 2025 has my attention. For new daily, I saw that car. I didn't review it myself. Josh did. It looks kind of funky to me. All the new Camrys are all hybrids. They're not any faster. I mean, all manufacturers are taking the fun out of sedans. It's more practicality, fuel economy, so forth, which I realize most people care about, but I didn't actually drive it. It looks funky, but I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. How many bull runs have you experienced? 3. No, 2. Yes, 2017 and 2021. So this will be the third. Do I currently do any staking? No. No. I like to keep my crypto liquid, even though it doesn't make sense because I basically leave it in my wallet and never move it. But I just don't. I just don't stake. Crypto Paradox, I appreciate it. What is your drivers only channel called? It's called Drivers Only. It's called Drivers Only. The link is in the description. Who is selling? Don't know. Maybe retail. Maybe miners are still selling a little bit. Why is AVAX pumping? Is there a reason? The reason is what you see on the screen, my man. Perry, Litecoin or ICP? Third option, neither. Elmer says, just bought a new Z06 2024. It's amazing. Almost as nice as my McLaren GT. I would say it's probably nicer than McLaren GT, right? But congrats. I've been eyeing those for a while. I just don't know if I want to get it or wait for the ZR1. ZR1 looks amazing, but I think it may be overboard. Z06 is actually reasonable and looks amazing and sounds amazing and probably drives amazing too. So congrats. Who designs your YouTube thumbnails? I do. What's your recommended leverage on Bitcoin? Well, my first recommendation would be none. Don't play with leverage. Once you play with leverage, you start getting addicted to it, and many people have lost a lot of money with leverage. But if you have to do it, do something small, 2 or 3x. If you start going 4 or 5x or above, there is always a chance for liquidation and Bitcoin dumps. At 2 to 3x for Bitcoin, it's almost impossible to get liquidated, but it could still go down a lot. But yeah, like some of my leverage plays are like 3, 4, or 5x right now. Yeah, that's it. Kyle, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, stop loss. Here's a warrior code. Stop losses are good and all, but when you have a lot of volatility and you keep hitting your stop loss, like you hit it and then you open it up, hit it again, open it up, you're still losing money. So that's the annoying thing about stop loss. A lot of times during volatile times where Bitcoin just goes up and down or whatever crypto, right? Your stop loss gets triggered way too often, and then you end up, losing money that way. Charts suggest major breakout imminent. We are top for the year in October. Are you saying we're going downwards into October? All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a big day. Tomorrow will be a big day, or maybe not. But what I do know is this, regardless of tomorrow, or what comes out of Jackson Powell, big move is coming for Bitcoin. Just focus on what's important. Supply and demand. Supply keeps on going down, like what this is showing. and demand keeps on going up. Those institutions and whales continue to load up, right? That's the way to do it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.